As North Dakota University System Chancellor William Goetz discussed the controversial topic of high tuition waivers being granted at North Dakota colleges and universities during an interim legislative committee meeting on Tuesday, something very strange occurred.
How are you making the books balance besides asking us for more money when you're granting all these waivers?
Mr. Chairman, Representative Carlson, let me put this issue in terms of magnitude, if you will. When we look at the university system as a whole, we have nearly $30.4 million tuition waivers to degree credit students enrolled this 2010-2011. Now, let's break that down.
State lawmakers agreed with the chancellor that they would like to break that down, but apparently in a different way than Goetz might have expected.
With regard to the $30 million you stated, would you restate that for us, please?
The North Dakota University System provided tuition waivers of $30.4 million to degree credit students enrolled 2010-11 receiving tuition waivers.
May I continue, Mr. Chairman? Are we splitting some hairs here, or are you telling us that's not the total amount of money spent on tuition waivers? Are you categorizing a certain category?
I'll tell you that this, Mr. Chairman, this is the total for tuition waivers in the system.
The whole system.
And then, I can go on and say, add, that $38.2 million, excuse me, $19.4 million tuition brought in by those same students, $11.4 million spent by students on housing and meal plans, and $7.4 million paid in fees. So, again, the question is, in terms of policy, do you look at tuition as a way to encourage students because they in turn spend money in our communities?
Thank you, Mr. Chancellor, but the thing that concerns me is already there's been some attempt now to confuse this issue a little bit. That $30 million, are you relying on someone within your office that gave you that figure?
Mr. Chairman, this is Representative Maragos. This is information that is gathered from the campuses and put together in a final report within the office.
One further question. I don't really like to conjecture or speculate, but if the information that comes out of the Legislative Council is different, how would you respond to that if yours is significantly lower?
What I want to do first is to be able to see the legislative report and to be able to understand and reconcile where the difference is.
The numbers that the Chancellor quoted as far as total tuition waivers doesn't correspond with the report that I received from Legislative Council. In fact, the $30 million that the Chancellor referred to was the amount at one of our institutions. So it's concerning.
This just further complicates the whole issue as we're sitting here trying to, determine things. And but I thank you for your comment.
We're responsible for obviously funding higher education or funding a large share of it. And when someone comes back to us and says we're short of money and we need to have more money, and then we're really not getting the whole story on tuition waivers, it kind of creates a problem for us on how we address those issues. So that issue's got to be cleared up. I think when we go to the next session,